The Ford Capri RS 3100 GR4 was developed for Group 4 racing in the early 1970s, powered by a 3.1-liter V6 engine producing around 310 horsepower. The car was equipped with a front air dam, rear spoiler and widened fenders to improve aerodynamics and accommodate wider racing tires, enhancing grip and stability at high speeds. It appears in Need for Speed World, Shift to Unleashed, and Edge. The Ford Crestline Sunliner Coupe, produced from 1952 to 1954, featured a design that reflected the optimism of the post-war era, with sleek lines, chrome accents, and a convertible roof that epitomized 1950s American automotive style. It was powered by a 3.9-liter flathead V8 engine producing 110 horsepower. It appears in Motor City Online. The 1995 Ford Crown Victoria, part of the second generation of this model, was powered by a 4.6-liter modular V8 engine producing 210 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. The car's body-on-frame construction provided a strong and durable chassis, making it suitable for heavy-duty use and easy to repair. It appears in Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit and High Stakes. Ford continued to refine the Crown Victoria to maintain its dominance in the fleet market by offering specific packages like the P71 for police and maintaining a balance of performance, safety, and practicality. Ford ensured the Crown Victoria remained a top choice for fleets. Besides police use, the Crown Victoria was popular in taxi fleets due to its spacious interior, large trunk, and low maintenance costs, making it a versatile workhorse. It appears in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 and in the Need for Speed film. The 2008 model year was one of the last for the Ford Crown Victoria, as production officially ended in 2011. The 2008 Crown Victoria continued the use of the 4.6-liter modular V8 engine, producing 239 horsepower and 287 pound-feet of torque. This model featured flex fuel capability, allowing it to run on E85 ethanol. Despite declining civilian sales, the Crown Victoria remained popular in police and taxi fleets due to its durability, low maintenance costs, and familiarity among fleet managers. It appears in Need for Speed World, Hot Pursuit, The Run, Most Wanted 2012, No Limits, Need for Speed 2015, Payback, Edge, Heat, Hot Pursuit Remastered, Unbound, and in the Need for Speed film. The Ford Deluxe Coupe, produced from 1937 to 1940, is a pre-war classic known for its distinctive grille, rounded fenders, and a sleek silhouette that captured the Art Deco design ethos. It was powered by a 3.6-liter flathead V8 engine producing 85 horsepower. It introduced an innovative transverse leaf spring front suspension, which improved ride quality and handling compared to earlier models. The Deluxe Coupe appears in Motor City Online. The 1971 Ford Escort Mk1 RS 1600 became a rally legend, known for its success in international rallying events. It was powered by a 1.6-liter BDA engine, producing around 120 horsepower, equipped with a wide track and distinctive flared wheel arches to accommodate wider tires, enhancing its grip and stability on rough rally stages. It appears in Need for Speed World, Shift to Unleashed, and Edge. The Ford Escort RS Cosworth, produced from 1992 to 96, was powered by a turbocharged 2-liter inline-4 engine producing 224 horsepower and 224 pound-feet of torque, enabling a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 5.7 seconds. The Escort RS Cosworth was homologated for Group A rallying and World Rally Championship, continuing Ford's legacy of rally dominance. Unlike many of its predecessors, the RS Cosworth featured an all-wheel drive system providing exceptional traction and handling, especially in rally conditions. It appears in Need for Speed Pro Street, Undercover, Shift, Nitro, World, and Shift 2 Unleashed. The Ford Explorer Limited, part of the third generation from 2002 to 2005, offered a 4.6-liter V8 engine producing 239 horsepower and 282 pound-feet of torque. It can accommodate up to 7 passengers. The Explorer appears as a traffic vehicle in Need for Speed Rivals, No Limits, Need for Speed 2015, Payback, Edge, and Unbound. The 2008 Ford Explorer Sport Track Adrenaline was designed as a sporty utility truck combining the versatility of an SUV with the practicality of a pickup truck equipped with a 4.6-liter V8 engine producing 292 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque, and a towing capacity of up to 6,800 pounds. It appears in Need for Speed Nitro. The second generation Ford F100, produced from 1953 to 56, featured a redesigned body for future generations of Ford trucks. In 1954, the F100 introduced the Y-block V8 engine, a 3.9-liter unit producing 130 horsepower. It appears in Motor City Online. The 12th generation Ford F-150, produced from 2009 to 2014, continued to be the best-selling vehicle in the United States during this period, reflecting its broad appeal and strong reputation for its reliability and performance. The 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 engine produced 365 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. It introduced the Sync infotainment system with MyFord Touch voice-activated driver controls, integrated trailer brake controller, and a rear-view camera. The F-150 appears as a traffic vehicle in Need for Speed 2015, Payback, Heat, and Unbound. The 2011 Ford F-150 SVT Raptor was designed specifically for high-performance off-roading, featuring a reinforced frame, long travel suspension, and Fox racing shocks. With a 5.4-liter V8 or 6.2-liter V8 engine producing 411 horsepower and 434 pound-feet of torque. It appears in Need for Speed World, Most Wanted 2012, Most Wanted Mobile, and Rivals. The 13th generation Ford F-150 SVT Raptor, introduced in 2017, featured an aluminum alloy body reducing weight by 500 pounds, improving performance and fuel efficiency. It was equipped with a 3.5-liter twin-turbocharged EcoBoost V6 engine producing 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque, and a new 10-speed automatic transmission. It introduced a terrain management system with multiple driving modes including normal, sport, weather, mud, sand, baja, and rock crawl, allowing drivers to optimize performance based on terrain conditions. It appears in Need for Speed Payback, Heat, and Unbound. The second generation Ford Fairlane 500, produced from 1957 to 1959, featured design cues from the Ford Thunderbird, including a squared-off roofline and prominent tail fins, reflecting the era's fascination with jet age styling. The Fairlane 500 appears in Motor City Online. The Ford Fairlane 500 Sunliner, produced in the 1950s and early 60s, features classic American styling with a distinctive chrome grille, large tail fins, and a convertible top. It was offered with a V8 that provided strong performance for its time. It appears in Need for Speed Mobile. The 1996 Ford Falcon EL featured a facelifted design with new headlights, grille, and bumper. The EL Falcon offered a 4-liter inline-6 engine, producing 210 horsepower, and the high-performance XR6 variant with a 220 horsepower output. The Falcon appears in Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit as a police vehicle. The 1997 Ford Falcon GT EL was powered by a 5-liter Windsor V8 engine producing 268 horsepower and 420 Nm of torque. Ford Australia aimed to create a halo car with the EL Falcon GT, with only 250 units produced. It appears in Need for Speed 3. The Ford Falcon GT Coupe XB Gen 3, produced from 1973 to 76, gained international fame as the pursuit special driven by Mel Gibson in the Mad Max films. It was powered by a 351 cubic inch Cleveland V8 engine producing 300 horsepower. It had racing victories in the Australian Touring Car Championship and Bathurst 100. The Falcon XB appears in Need for Speed No Limits. The Ford Falcon XR8 AUI, produced from 1998 to 2000, was part of the AU Falcon series, powered by a 5-liter Windsor V8 engine producing 248 horsepower. Ford Australia aimed to address the criticisms of the AU Falcon styling by enhancing the performance and visual appeal of the XR8 variant. It appears in the Australian box art of Need for Speed High Stakes. The 6th generation Ford Fiesta SD, introduced in 2013, was powered by a 1.6-liter EcoBoost turbocharged inline-4 engine producing 197 horsepower and 214 pound-feet of torque, enabling a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 6.7 seconds. The unique Ford Fiesta SD Ken block appears in Need for Speed No Limits. It appears in Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012 and Edge. The second generation Ford Focus RS, produced from 2009 to 2010, was equipped with a 2.5-liter turbocharged inline-5 engine producing 305 horsepower. It featured a unique revo-knuckle front suspension system designed to reduce torque steer and improve handling during aggressive acceleration. It appears in Need for Speed World, Shift to Unleashed, and The Run. The third generation 2016 Ford Focus RS featured a sophisticated all-wheel drive system with dynamic torque vectoring, providing exceptional grip and handling. Powered by a 2.3-liter EcoBoost inline-4 engine, producing 350 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque, achieving a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 4.7 seconds and a top speed of 165 miles per hour or 266 kilometers per hour. It introduced a unique drift mode, allowing drivers to initiate controlled oversteer for more dynamic driving experience. It appears in Need for Speed 2015, Payback, Edge, Heat, and Unbound. The 2010 Ford Focus RS500 Gen 2 was a limited edition model with only 500 units produced. It used an upgraded version of the 2.5-liter turbocharged inline-5 engine, producing 350 horsepower and 340 pound-feet of torque, thanks to a larger intercooler, revised software, and a larger air intake. It appears in Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, Most Wanted Mobile, and Edge. The second generation Ford Focus ST, produced from 2006 to 2010, was powered by a 2.5-liter turbocharged inline-5 engine, producing 225 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque, while the ST's interior included Recaro sport seats, a sports steering wheel, and ST-specific trim. It appears in Need for Speed Pro Street, Undercover, Shift, Shift 2 Unleashed, and Edge. Ford aimed to build on the success of the previous Focus ST by incorporating advanced technology and a powerful 2-liter EcoBoost inline-4 engine, producing 252 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque in the third-generation Ford Focus ST. The result was a hot hatch that delivered exhilarating performance and everyday practicality, appealing to a wide range of driving enthusiasts. It appears in Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012 and Edge. The first generation Ford Focus ZX3, introduced in 1999, was built on Ford's new Global C1 platform. It was powered by a 2-liter Z-Tech inline-4 engine, producing 130 horsepower with a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of around 8.5 seconds. The Focus ZX3 was equipped with advanced safety features for its time, including dual front airbags, side impact protection, and ABS, earning it high in safety ratings. It appears in Need for Speed Underground 1, Underground 2, and Underground Rivals. The second generation Ford Galaxy 500, produced from 1960 to 1964, was integral to Ford's Total Performance program, leading to notable success in NASCAR. The 1963 Galaxy 500 with a 7-liter V8 engine produced up to 425 horsepower and was a dominant force in racing. It appears in Motor City Online. The first generation Ford GT was introduced in 2004 to commemorate Ford's 100th anniversary. It was inspired by the legendary GT40 race car that won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 4 times in the 1960s. The GT featured a 5.4-liter supercharged V8 engine producing 550 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque, going 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.3 seconds, and had a top speed of 205 miles per hour or 330 kilometers per hour. 4,038 units of the first generation Ford GT were meticulously hand-built at Ford's Wixom assembly plant between 2004 and 2006. It appears in Need for Speed Most Wanted, Carbon, Carbon on the City, Pro Street, Undercover, Shift, Nitro, World, Hot Pursuit, Shift 2 Unleashed, The Run, Most Wanted 2012, Most Wanted Mobile, Rivals, No Limits, Edge, and Hot Pursuit Remastered. The second generation Ford GT, introduced in 2017, is powered by 3.5-liter EcoBoost twin-turbo V6 engine, producing 647 horsepower and 550 pound-feet of torque. It marked Ford's return to the Le Mans in 2016, where it secured a class victory 50 years after the original GT40's first win. It appears in Need for Speed No Limits, Payback, Heat, and Unbound.
When you sit in a car, 49 seconds was the time you set last week.
The GT40 project was initiated by Henry Ford II after a failed attempt to buy Ferrari. The Ford GT40, produced from 1964 to 69, is renowned for its 4 consecutive overall victories at the 24 Hours of Le Mans from 1966 to 1969. This achievement ended Ferrari's dominance in the race. The GT40 Mark I initially featured a 4.7-liter V8 engine, while the Mark II and later versions used a more powerful 7-liter V8. The Mark IV introduced an aluminum honeycomb chassis for improved rigidity and weight savings. Carroll Shelby played a crucial role in developing and refining the GT40, particularly the Mk2 version. His expertise in performance tuning and racing strategy was instrumental in the car's success. It appears in Need for Speed World, Shift to Unleashed, and Edge. The Ford GT90 was a concept car unveiled at a 1995 Detroit Auto Show. It was built by a small team in under 6 months using many components from other companies owned by Ford at the time. The GT90 was powered by a 6-liter quad-turbocharged V12 engine, producing 720 horsepower and 660 pound-feet of torque. This engine was essentially 2 Lincoln V8s combined and equipped with 4 turbochargers. The GT90 appears in Need for Speed 2. The Ford Indigo was unveiled as a concept car at the 1996 North American International Auto Show. It was designed as a single-seat open-wheel roadster inspired by IndyCar racing. It featured a 6-liter V12 engine producing 435 horsepower. This engine was derived from Ford's 3-liter V6 used in the Taurus SHO, essentially 2 V6 engines combined. The Indigo appears in Need for Speed 2. The Ford Lotus Cortina was the result of a collaboration between Ford and Lotus, produced from 1963 to 1970. It combined the body of the Ford Cortina with the engine and suspension developed by Lotus, powered by a 1.6-liter twin-cam inline-4 engine, producing 105 horsepower. This engine was based on the Ford Kent engine but extensively modified by Lotus. It achieved significant success in motorsport, winning the British Saloon Car Championship in 1964 and numerous other races. It appears in Need for Speed World, Shift to Unleashed, and Edge. The Ford Model 18, produced in 1932, was the first car to feature Ford's flathead V8 engine, producing 65 horsepower. It was priced at around $495 US. The introduction of a flathead V8 engine in the Model 18 marked a significant milestone for Ford. It demonstrated Henry Ford's vision of providing powerful, reliable, and affordable vehicles to the masses, solidifying Ford's position as a leader in the automotive industry. It appears in Motor City Online, No Limits, Need for Speed 2015, and Payback. The first generation Ford Mustang Boss 302, produced from 1969 and 1970, was designed to compete in the Trans Am Racing Series. The 302 cubic inch V8 engine produced 290 horsepower. It appears in Motor City Online, World, The Run, No Limits, Need for Speed 2015, Payback, Edge, Heat, and Unbound. The 5th gen Ford Mustang Boss 302, produced from 2012 to 2013, was a modern revival of the original. It featured a 5-liter V8 engine producing 444 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque, with a 7500 RPM redline. It appears in Need for Speed World, The Run, Most Wanted 2012, Most Wanted Mobile, and Edge. The first generation Ford Mustang Boss 429, produced in 1969, was created to homologate Ford's 429 cubic inch V8 engine for NASCAR racing. Each car was sent to Carcraft, who modified the engine bay to fit the massive 429 engine and installed a unique suspension setup. The Boss 429 was part of Ford's total performance strategy aimed at establishing the brand's dominance in motorsport. It appears in Motor City Online. The first generation Ford Mustang convertible was introduced in 1964 alongside the coupe and fastback models. It offered several engine options including a 2.8-liter inline-six, a 4.3-liter V8, and later a 4.7-liter engine. In its first year, Ford sold over 22,000 convertible Mustangs, becoming an icon of the 60s. Featuring in numerous movies, TV shows, and advertisements. It appears in Need for Speed 3 as a traffic car. The first generation Ford Mustang Coupe was launched in 1964, marking the beginning of the Mustang legacy. The pony car styling became a hallmark of the Mustang and influenced many subsequent models. The Mustang Coupe offered a base 2.8-liter inline-six or the high-performance 4.7-liter V8. The Mustang Coupe was an immediate success, with over 121,000 units sold in its first year. It appears in Motor City Online, Need for Speed 2015, Payback, Edge, Heat, and Unbound. The 2024 Ford Mustang Dark Horse S650 is designed to be the most track-capable 5-liter V8 Mustang ever. It features a specially tuned Coyote V8 engine producing over 500 horsepower, equipped with advanced suspension and braking systems, including Magnarite dampers, Brembo brakes, and a torsion limited slip differential. It appears in Need for Speed Unbound. The 1970 Ford Mustang Fastback was available with a variety of engines including the 5.8-liter V8 and the 428 Cobra Jet V8 engine producing 250 horsepower. Its fastback roofline gave it a distinctive and dynamic look. The 1970 Mustang Fastback appears in Motor City Online. The first generation Ford Mustang Fastback was introduced in 1965. It was powered by a 4.7-liter V8, and it quickly became a favorite among enthusiasts and collectors, with over 559,000 units sold in 1965 alone. The Mustang Fastback is well known for its appearance in the 1968 film Bullitt, starring Steve McQueen. It appears in Need for Speed Underground Rivals, Carbon on the City, and Undercover. The third generation Ford Mustang GT, produced from 1979 to 1993, was built on the Fox body platform, which provided a lightweight and versatile foundation for the Mustang's design and performance. It featured the legendary 5-liter V8 engine, producing 225 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. It appears in Need for Speed 2015, Payback, Heat, and Unbound. The 4th gen Ford Mustang GT, produced from 1994 to 2004, was built on the SN95 platform, which introduced a new 4.6-liter modular V8 engine that produced 260 horsepower and 302 pound-feet of torque. In 1999, the Mustang GT received a significant redesign known as the New Edge facelift. This update included sharper body lines, revised headlights, and a more aggressive front fascia. It appears in Need for Speed Pro Street. The 2005 5th gen Ford Mustang GT featured a retro-inspired design that paid homage to the classic Mustangs of the 1960s. It was powered by a 4.6-liter modular V8 engine, producing 300 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. It was built on the all-new D2C platform, which featured a more rigid chassis and improved suspension design. It appears in Need for Speed Underground 2, Most Wanted 510, Carbon, Carbon on the City, Pro Street, and Undercover. The 2014 Ford Mustang GT marked the 50th anniversary of the Mustang. It featured the 5-liter Coyote V8 engine, producing 420 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. It appears in the Need for Speed movie as the hero car driven by Aaron Paul. It also appears in Need for Speed Rivals and Edge. The 6th generation Ford Mustang GT, introduced in 2015, was built on a new S550 platform designed to meet global safety and performance standards, allowing Ford to sell the Mustang in international markets for the first time. The 5-liter Coyote V8 engine was further refined, producing up to 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. This engine used dual fuel injection and a higher redline for improved performance. For the first time in its history, the Mustang GT featured an independent rear suspension system, which significantly improved the car's handling and overall driving dynamics. It also included the Sync 3 infotainment system, adaptive cruise control, and a customizable digital instrument cluster. It appears in Need for Speed Rivals, No Limits, Need for Speed 2015, Payback, Edge, Heat, Unbound, and in the Need for Speed movie. The 6th gen Ford Mustang GT convertible was the first Mustang generation offered in right-hand drive option, with worldwide engine options including a 5-liter Coyote V8 and a 3.7-liter Cyclone V6 or a 2.7-liter turbocharged inline-4 EcoBoost. The 2019 Mustang GT convertible appears in Need for Speed Unbound. The Ford Mustang Unicorn RTR was developed in collaboration with professional rally driver Ken Block and his company Hoonigan. It was designed for Ken Block's Gymkhana 7 debut, revealed at SEMA 2014. It is powered by a custom-built 6.7-liter twin-turbo V8 engine, producing over 1,400 horsepower. Unlike traditional Mustang, the Unicorn RTR features an all-wheel drive system. Its chassis and suspension were heavily modified to handle the extreme demands of Gymkhana driving. It appears in Need for Speed 2015 and No Limits. The first generation Ford Mustang Mach 1, introduced in 1969, was designed as a high-performance variant of the Mustang. It featured the 428 Cobra Jet V8, producing up to 355 horsepower. The Ford Mustang Mach 1 appears in Motor City Online. The Ford Mustang Mach 1 Cobra Jet was equipped with a 7-liter V8 engine capable of producing 335 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. A distinctive feature of the Cobra Jet was its functional shaker hood scoop, which allowed cool air to enter the engine, improving performance and giving the car an aggressive look. It appears in Motor City Online. The Ford Mustang Mach 3 was a concept car unveiled at the 1993 North American International Auto Show. It was powered by a 4.6-liter twin-turbocharged V6 engine, producing 450 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. This engine was a significant departure from the traditional V8 engines used in production Mustangs. The Mustang Mach 3 appears in Need for Speed 2. The Ford Mustang Mach-E GT is an all-electric SUV with 480 horsepower and 600 pound-feet of torque, enabling it to go 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds. It offers a range of up to 270 miles or 434 kilometers on a single charge. It appears in Need for Speed Mobile. The 2011 Ford Mustang RTR, Ready to Rock, was developed in collaboration with professional drifter Vaughn Gittin Jr. The RTR package included a Ford racing suspension system, RTR-specific 19-inch wheels, Nitto tires, and a cold air intake. It appears in Need for Speed The Run. The Ford Mustang RTR X made its debut at the 2010 SEMA show in Las Vegas. It was a project car designed by Von Gittin Jr. and built in collaboration with Need for Speed. It was based on a 1969 Mustang Fastback but featured a Boss 302 V8 engine with individual throttle bodies producing 500 horsepower. The car's exterior featured a distinctive matte black and lime green color scheme, wide body fender flares, and RTR-specific wheels. It appears in Need for Speed World, Shift 2 Unleashed, The Run, and Edge. The Ford Mustang SSP Special Service Package was developed specifically for law enforcement use. It was produced from 1982 to 1993 and was based on the Fox Body Mustang platform. It was equipped with 5-liter V8 engine producing 225 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque, reaching top speeds of over 140 miles per hour, making it suitable for high-speed pursuits. The Mustang SP was used by numerous law enforcement agencies across the United States, including the California Highway Patrol and the Texas Department of Public Safety. The Mustang SSP appears in the Need for Speed as a police vehicle. The 2000 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra R Gen 4 was powered by a 5.4-liter DOHC V8 engine, producing 385 horsepower and 385 pound-feet of torque, with only 300 units built. It was sold without back seats or AC for weight saving. It appears in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 and Underground Rivals. The 2010 Ford Police Interceptor sedan concept is a concept car produced by the Ford Motor Company based on the Taurus platform. It is powered by the same 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 that powers the Taurus SHO and has an all-wheel drive layout. It appears as a police vehicle in Need for Speed World, Hot Pursuit, The Run, and Hot Pursuit Remastered. The 2011 Ford Police Interceptor utility concept is a police vehicle manufactured by Ford based on the Ford Explorer. It is powered by a 3.7-liter V6 engine and has an all-wheel drive layout. It appears as a police vehicle in Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, No Limits, Payback, Heat, and Unbound. The first generation Ford Probe was developed as a joint venture between Ford and Mazda between 1989 to 1992. It offered two engine options, a 2.2-liter inline-4 producing 110 horsepower and a turbocharged 2.2-liter inline-4 producing 145 horsepower. It had a drag coefficient of 0.32, which was impressive for its time. The Probe appears in the Need for Speed as a traffic vehicle.
Vice City.
The Ford Ranchero was the first car-based pickup truck in the American market, debuting in 1957. It was based on a full-size Ford Fairlane platform. It offered several engine options including a 3.7-liter inline-6 engine, producing 144 horsepower, and a 5.1-liter V8 engine producing up to 245 horsepower. The Ranchero appears in Motor City Online. The 1967 Shelby GT500, developed by Carroll Shelby, was based on a Ford Mustang and featured significant performance upgrades powered by a 7-liter Police Interceptor V8 engine, producing 355 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. It gained widespread fame through its appearance in movies and television shows, most notably in the film Gone in 60 Seconds, driven by Nick Cage. It appears in Need for Speed Carbon, Pro Street, Undercover, Shift, Nitro, Shift 2 Unleashed, and Most Wanted 2012. The Shelby Cobra Daytona Coupe, designed by Peter Brock in 1964, was powered by a 4.7-liter V8 engine producing around 385 horsepower. The Daytona Coupe earned many victories in its racing career, including winning the GT class at the 1964 24 Hours of Le Mans and 24 Hours of Daytona. In 65, it won at the 24 Hours of Le Mans again and the FIA World Sports Car Championship for GT cars, marking a major victory for American motorsport. It appears in Need for Speed World, Shift 2 Unleashed, The Run, No Limits, and Edge. The Shelby GT500 S550 is powered by a supercharged 5.2-liter V8 engine that produces a staggering 760 horsepower. This makes it the most powerful production Mustang ever built. The GT500 can go 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds and reach a top speed of 180 miles per hour or 289 kilometers per hour. It is equipped with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, performance-tuned suspension, Brembo brakes, and Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. It appears in Need for Speed Mobile. The 1965 Shelby Cobra 427 is one of the most iconic American muscle cars. It was developed by Carroll Shelby by fitting a 427 cubic inch Ford V8 engine into the lightweight AC Cobra chassis. The engine produced around 425 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. The Cobra semi-competition also competed in various racing events including the SCCA, Sports Car Club of America races. The Cobra's combination of American muscle has made it a legend in automotive history, and it remains a symbol of automotive excellence and innovation. It appears in Motor City Online, Need for Speed World, Shift 2 Unleashed, and Most Wanted 2012. The 2007 to 2009 Ford Shelby GT500 S197-1 used a supercharged 5.4-liter V8 engine producing 500 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque, accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.5 seconds, and had a top speed of 155 miles per hour. It also featured a Tremec TR 6060 6-speed manual gearbox equipped with Brembo brakes and a performance-tuned suspension. It appears in Need for Speed Carbon and Pro Street. The 2010 Shelby GT500 featured an upgraded 5.4-liter supercharged V8 engine producing 540 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. It earned an EPA rating of 15 miles per gallon city and 23 miles per gallon highway. It appears in Need for Speed Shift, Nitro, Hot Pursuit, Shift 2 Unleashed, and Hot Pursuit Remastered. First unveiled at a 2011 Los Angeles Auto Show, the 2013 Shelby GT500 was equipped with a 5.8-liter supercharged V8 engine producing a record-breaking 662 horsepower and 631 pound-feet of torque. This made it the most powerful version V8 engine in the world at the time. It went 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds and achieved a top speed of over 200 miles per hour. It appears in Need for Speed Rivals, No Limits, and Edge. The 2020 Ford Shelby GT500 is equipped with a supercharged 5.2-liter V8 engine producing 760 horsepower and 625 pound-feet of torque, making it the most powerful Ford production car ever made. It went 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.3 seconds and can cover the quarter mile in under 11 seconds. It features a 7-speed Tremec dual-clutch transmission, which is a first for a Mustang. It appears in Need for Speed No Limits. The 2010 Shelby GT500 Super Snake was an even more powerful version of the GT500. It featured a supercharged 5.4-liter V8 engine producing up to 750 horsepower. Production of the Super Snake was limited, with each car being hand-built at Shelby American in Las Vegas. For Need for Speed The Run, the Need for Speed Edition Shelby GT500 Super Snake was recreated by Shelby in real life. It appears in Need for Speed World, Hot Pursuit, The Run, and Hot Pursuit Remastered. The 2008 GT500 KR, short for King of the Road, was a special edition of the GT500, celebrating the 40th anniversary of the original GT500 KR. It featured a 5.4-liter supercharged V8 engine producing 540 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. It was featured as the KIT or Knight Industries 3000 in a 2008 Knight Rider television series and television movie. The GT500 KR appears in Need for Speed Undercover. The Terlingua Mustang pays homage to the Terlingua racing team, which was founded by Carroll Shelby and Bill Neal in the 1960s. The modern Telingua Mustang is based on the Ford Mustang GT and features a supercharged 5-liter V8 engine producing over 750 horsepower. It appears in Need for Speed Undercover, Shift, World, Shift 2 Unleashed, and Edge. The Ford Thunderbird was unveiled at the 1954 Detroit Auto Show and came with a 292 cubic inch Y-block V8 engine producing 198 horsepower. In its first year, Ford sold over 16,000 units of the Thunderbird, significantly more than the Chevrolet Corvette, which sold only 700 units in the same period. It appears in Motor City Online. The 1957 Thunderbird offered a 5.1-liter V8 with up to 300 horsepower in the F-Code model, which featured a Paxton-McCulloch supercharger. Ford produced 21,380 units of the 1957 Thunderbird, marking the final year of the original two-seat design. It appears in Motor City Online. The third-gen Ford Thunderbird, produced from 1961 to 63, is often referred to as the Bullet Bird due to its sleek, bullet-like profile. It came with a 6.4-liter V8 engine producing 300 horsepower. The Bullet Bird was a sales success for Ford, with over 214,000 units sold during its 3-year production run. This popularity was driven by its unique styling, luxurious features, and strong performance. It appears in Motor City Online. The 1969 Ford Torino GT Cobra was known for the 428 Cobra Jet V8 engine, which produced 335 horsepower. It often competed in NHRA events, earning a reputation as a formidable performer on the strip. It appears in Motor City Online. In 1969, Ford produced over 129,000 Torino GTs as the combination of style, performance, and affordability appealed to a wide range of buyers, and it came with several engine options, the most powerful being the 428 Cobra Jet V8. The Torino GT Fastback was used in NASCAR racing during the late 1960s. It appears in Motor City Online and is driven by Aaron Paul in a Need for Speed movie. The 1999 Ford TS50 was a high-performance version of the Ford Falcon produced by Ford Australia. It was part of the TS series or Tickford series, a collaboration between Ford and Tickford Vehicle Engineering. It featured a 5.6-liter V8 engine unique to the Australian market, producing 335 horsepower. The TS50 appears in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. The 1934 Ford V8 Model 40, also known as the Ford Model B, was equipped with Ford's flathead 3.6-liter V8 engine, which produced 65 horsepower. Henry Ford aimed to make V8 power accessible to the masses. The Model 40 was the first affordable car with a V8 engine, revolutionizing the automotive market and setting a new standard for performance. It appears in Motor City Online.